So Garang, welcome to Newcastle United. Can you just sum up how you're feeling after agreeing to join the club?
Yeah, I feel great. Finally to come visit the beautiful city and whack this beautiful shirt on.
You've officially joined the club in January from Central Coast Mariners. You've received interest from a number of European clubs. What convinced you that it would be Newcastle who you'd be joining?
Well, personally for me and my family, it was just like, the plan for me to come and play for the first team. And also, when I see the beautiful stadium, I remember watching that like years ago, thinking, wow, imagine playing there. And also, the city, it's a one-club city, so, a lot of passion and, a lot to play for.
What was your initial reaction when you first heard that Newcastle were interested in trying to sign you?
It's unreal. Like, as a young boy in Australia, Premier League's the main thing that everyone watches around there, but no one actually thinks that they could reach those heights. So to be one of those people, to be in the position I'm in right now, is it's amazing.
You've flown over from Australia this week to complete your medical. You've also had a tour of St James's Park. What was your first initial reactions of when you first entered the ground?
Oh, shock. Massive stadium and beautiful structure of it, and it was unreal.
Have you had any visions of scoring goals in the ends, the Gallagher end, the Leazes end?
Yeah, of course. A little knee slide.
You're arguably one of Australia's most exciting footballing prospects. For those though who are unaware of your profile, can you just tell us what your main position is and what you consider to be your best strengths?
Attacking play, play wide or in the middle, and say, being able to, start an attack or take the ball forward from many different positions.
You recently made your international debut for Australia and you became the youngest player to represent the Socceroos for over a quarter of a century. How much pride did you take in making your senior debut and only at the age of 18?
Yeah, it was a proud moment for me and my family. Obviously, I was watching Socceroos since I was a child and, dreamt of playing for them in the green and gold. So, unreal moment for me and my family.
Obviously, Australia will be competing in the World Cup in a couple of months' time. How much of an incentive is that to try and get on the plane for the finals in Qatar?
No, it's massive. The World Cup's one of the biggest stages of football, and to go on that plane to go over, it would be massive for me and my family.
In May, you were selected for the A-League All-Stars game, where you played against Barcelona in front of 70,000 fans. How valuable was that experience playing against some of the world's best players?
Oh, it was unreal. Versus some of those players that I was watching a decade ago when I was a child, and in front of that much fans as well. It was just it was surreal, and that's where you want to be.
Obviously, you had a few chances in the game, and you clearly impressed. Was there any messages afterwards?
No, not really. But obviously, you hear what the manager and stuff said, and that was just massive. It was unreal to hear someone like Xavi talking about me. So yeah, it is what it is.
There's been a select few of Australians who've played in the Premier League over the years, the likes of former Newcastle striker Mark Viduka. I know you're a fan of Tim Cahill too. How much of an impact did those players who featured in England impact you growing up?
Yeah, because they're like the only real Australians that have played in the Premier League at a high level. So, yeah, just want to add to that caliber and be one of those players as well.
Would you say that's a long-term target of yours, to try and emulate the footsteps of those previous players and then ultimately try and inspire the next generation of Australians who will be coming through?
Obviously, the dream is to play the Premier League consistently and hopefully surpass everyone from Australia.
Was that a key factor for yourself in wanting to come to Newcastle? Obviously, the prospect of playing in one of the biggest leagues in the world.
Yeah, playing the Premier League in general, and obviously in front of these passionate fans, it would be unreal.
Now that the agreement's been finalised, does this now allow you to just concentrate on your football ahead of what's going to be quite a key stage in your career?
Yeah, but also nothing's really changed in terms of my motives and my willingness, to play well and consistently. But obviously now that I've signed for Newcastle, I just want to, train hard, play hard, and hopefully go to the World Cup and come back here in January.